What is up, everybody? Your friendly neighborhood gamer Zalgo coming back with you again for another Soul Park Phone Destroyers patch update, breakdown slash read through, whatever you want to call it. Just gonna take a quick second, shameless plug promotion. Feel free to check out any of our social media stuff located currently on the screen. I'll also try to put the links in the description below. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. So please hook your boy up with some follows and some likes and some subscribes. With that being said, let's switch overlays and jump right into this patch breakdown. Boom. Alright, so back at it again. Red Links has come out today with a new patch balance update, so to speak. Kind of give the community more insight into what it is that they've done after all the horrible backlash that they've received from a lot of disgruntled players. People have not been very happy with the last update that we got for epics, legendaries, and rares getting buffed, and a lot of people have been putting in requests for refunds with Google and iTunes. Not sure how that's turning out for people, but it's an option if you are that disgruntled. But with that being said, let's at least applaud Red Links on making the effort to put forward more communication with the community via these patch notes. They've gone into somewhat more detail this time around, so that's good news. So upcoming BFU update that everyone's all hyped about, big feature update, but I like to call it the big fucking update. So yeah, hey new kids, Steven Buck here from Red Links here. Today we wanted to bring you a little more information your way about what is coming with the big feature update. On Friday, that Darren Steve sent out our weekly developer update that gave a bit of info on the upcoming rare, epic, legendary scaling improvements, yada yada yada. The balance update was one step towards improving and refreshing the meta. Always a plus, because metas get stale and it's always good for games, especially card games, to revamp and revitalize the meta. As always, not everyone will agree with every decision or with our vision for balance or adjustment to the mechanics of some cards. We welcome different opinions and open conversation, but urge you all to keep it constructive and respectful so that we can present your feedback to our team clearly and appropriately based on merit. I'm all for this as well. Definitely, guys, if you are disgruntled or if you're happy, feel free to express yourself, but do it in a clear, respectful, try as much to be concise manner so that they can take all feedback appropriate to the appropriate people, which be the devs, because those are the ones that really make the changes happen in the game. Steve, that's just Buck, all those guys, they're community facing, they're customer facing, they're at the forefront, but they aren't really the ones that make all the final decisions, so you can't really put all the blame on those guys. But definitely something to consider. What else do we got here? It's incredibly important to know that we hope to release balance of this more frequently, and this is a continual process. That is also another good thing. Hopefully they learn as they go along. Like we keep on saying, the game's relatively new. The team, I'm guessing, is still young, so they still have a ways to figuring out certain stuff that hopefully doesn't piss off the entirety of the community for the most part. The next phase of the balancing process will be making adjustments to our economy in the near future. Beginning soon, epic and legendary cards will cost less to upgrade to higher levels. 4+ from the perspective of upgrade materials. That is a huge plus. People are always complaining about mats. Mats are a really big issue in this game, so that is a very welcome change. I know a lot of people will be happy about. This change was planned to be released in conjunction with yesterday's balance patch, but was set back due to complications during the release process. The reason behind this change is to encourage users to experiment with and try these cards at higher levels of competitive play, as they were previously being outshined by common cards, which are easier to upgrade, everyone knows this, in the upper echelons. It should be noted that this isn't intended to be a single silver bullet, so to speak, but rather part of a gradual process where we make adjustments, measure the impact, then continue to adjust to fit our vision of competitive play. I'm kind of turned off by the fact that they said our vision there, because it seems kind of one-sided. Like, always always, I guess, try to include the community. Don't make it seem as if, oh, well, it's our way or the highway, because that kind of seems standoffish. That's just me. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but yeah, just to fit our vision of competitive play. You don't really have much competitive play if you have no community, so something to consider. Some players have asked about the logic behind their recent modifications, specifically those to Purify and Powerbind. This is the main grievance a lot of people have overall. Regarding Powerbind, a unit's ability is a major factor in determining the energy cost of that unit. To allow a 1 energy cost card to remove the power of many different enemy units in a single play causes far too much of an energy swing. Limiting the units and range will help to keep this card from being excessive, as we definitely feel it was. Increasing cost and decreasing target count makes the card less of a bombshell when it's dropped on multiple units. Additionally, because it is a spell, it is very quick to cycle through the deck, so raising Powerbind to 2 cost prevents players from being able to cycle too quickly and essentially totally nullify unit abilities. Alright, so 1. I think everybody was already under the same agreement that yes, 1 energy for the card is probably a bit OP. It deserved the nerf to 2 energy. Fine, I can concede that. Secondly, they say limiting the units and range will help keep this card from being excessive. I'm kinda on the fence when it comes to that part, because most times when you played Purify, you only really got 1 unit anyways. Because most people tend to play out 1 charge ability minion, and then they wait to see if you purify it as if kind of like a beta or whatever, and then you usually just end up using it on 1. So I mean, it's kind of a thing, but at the same time, it's like, just because we only got 1, it doesn't mean you had to limit the range. I feel like because they upped the energy to 2, they could have probably given back the card its original range and just made it that you can only power bind stuff based on the level of the card. So at level 1 you could only power bind 1 minion anyway. Level 2, same thing, power bind 2 minions, and so on and so forth. It would, 1, still at least give you some bit of contingency to actually upgrade the card, because as is right now, how the card is, it's pointless to upgrade it, because you're only gonna more than likely only get 1 unit majority of the time anyway, so you really don't need to upgrade it past level 1. Same thing between the 2 cards, you're really only gonna able really to use it on 1 minute, but it is what it is. Their logic for Purify is basically the same thing. This is very similar. This thing desynced. I'll just let that rock for the time. This is very similar to the situation surrounding Powerbind, but even more powerful in totally nullifying the strategy. Yeah, I don't know. Purify, you can't purify something unless something is already done to it, right? At least with Powerbind, I could see the logic, because you can just Powerbind something with an ability regardless. Once it's done, it's an automatic use. With Purify, I don't really think they needed to nerf it as hard as they did Powerbind. Once again, they could have applied the same thing, same treatment. They could have raised it by the 1 energy to 2, and they could have just given it back its original range and just made it where each minion that you want to affect it, you need to raise the level of the card. But like they said before, they will continue to adjust to fit their vision of competitive play. So we just gotta hold that and keep on keeping on. Regarding balance in general, when seeking to shake up the meta of Thunderstruck, we want to do this in a fair way. This means we have to take a lot of things into account. We need to balance the game in a way that keeps things fair and reasonable for all players. We need to balance with just getting started rank 4 players in mind and the number 3 legendary players in mind. And fostering a healthy ecosystem across these player types can be difficult, but our team is more than up to the task. We look at Thunderstruck as a living, breathing experience rather than a static creation. Whether players think these changes were excessive or right on the mark, it should be noted that our desire was to make playing these cards less of a total shutdown of specific enemy tactics and more of a strategic and technical maneuver time and data will tell if this has the desired effect. Well, pretty much hardly if anyone is going to be playing Mystic anymore. And if they do play Mystic, they're probably gonna drop Purify and Power Bind for something else. We urge players to approach these cards with fresh eyes and give us their feedback. We will. Alright, so this is a step in the right direction. They say in bold, we will use that feedback as part of our decision making process in the future, which is excellent. It's all about the respect. It's good when you put the community at the forefront. Much the same as we are already attempting to incorporate your feedback on our communication of these topics. And then they go on to state where you can contact them with any suggestions, balance, features, communications, updates, bugs, whatever. And then now to the meat of the matter. FYI, before I move on to the meat of the matter, playtesting yesterday, we lost a lot of ranks. I'm down to like 647 now. We were at like, I think 400 and something. But it's growing pains. Everybody's trying out new stuff and everybody's running into standoff many moons, so everyone's trying to figure their way out around stuff. But we'll see if we can climb back to top 500 before legend rank resets on March 8th. The BFU will add new features that we've been developing and testing recently. This update will be coming quite soon, so now we're unveiling more info with more to follow soon. As you probably have heard, one of the biggest features for this update, Friendly Fights, has had to be delayed slightly due to some internal compliance issues, which is a bummer because that's pretty much the main meat and potatoes of what everyone is looking forward to for the big future update. But we're gonna have to hold that L and wait. In other news, however, they're super excited to roll out an additional feature that kind of came out of left field, which is good. No one was really expecting it. And it's something that has been requested from the community time and time again, which has been the legendary leaderboards. This feature has been highly requested by the community. I just said that. We're excited to say it's becoming to the phone destroyer with our BFU. Now you'll be able to see a full leaderboard of the top players in the game. This making it easier for the community to see where you and other players outside your team sit in terms of both worldwide ranking and country ranking. I get how this is potentially something cool that a lot of people would enjoy because it's like bragging rights or whatever. I don't really see the purpose of it outside of just for people who are legend rank, but I mean it's a new feature, so I'm happy for it. I'm not shitting on it, so it's all good. So we're getting a leaderboard. Yeah, people can wave their E-pins around and feel awesome sauce. It's cool. Updates are updates. We are happy for updates. More importantly, this is the update that everyone's been waiting on for far too long. Legendary matchmaking. We've heard this request from players of all levels. Well, we heard you and matchmaking improvements are on their way. Now, if you're in legend rank, you only face other legendary players. So, that's a double-edged sword. D rankers are gonna have a field day with this. But at the same time, people in legend won't be wasting time playing against silver shields and not gaining elo, so that's good. This change was made to ensure that non-legendary players aren't getting beat up on and that legendary players are experiencing exciting matches. Non-legendary players are going to get beat up on regardless because D rankers are going to be in silver shield without a doubt after reset. And they're going to get their asses handed to them. So that's one. Two, legendary players are experiencing exciting matches. I can respect that. I know a lot of people complain in legendary about steamrolling or going up against people that don't play and they just kind of just let you run over them. So I guess that's one of the more rewarding and exciting aspects of clutching out a close battle against someone that's ranked close to you. So that's another plus. On top of that, we're changing the matchmaking algorithm as well. Currently, the legend rank is treated as one PvP rank, so it's possible that the #1 player in the world could face the 4,530th player in the world. In the new system, even though this is still possible, it will be far less likely. Another step in the right direction. A lot of people have been suggesting that they make legend a complete separate and apart ranking system from the normal ranks so that silver shields and legends don't ever really go up against each other. So this is a step towards that. We'll start the matchmaking search at negative plus 150 ranks from your current worldwide rank. If no match is found, that search will be expanded to plus or minus 300 and so on and so forth. So that's decent. Our hope is that this will lead to more competitive matches and less lopsided fights. This may increase matchmaking time. I think everybody would be okay, will be, I should say, okay with the increased matchmaking times. It's, like I said, for the greater good. But they'll be monitoring the data carefully and making adjustments. Coolio. Phone destroyer system. So it looks like the game's getting some spiffy new UI updates to the health bars, which looks pretty cool, based on their new system that they're putting in place for earning PvP packs. So with the BFU, a new system will go in play. You'll notice that your health bars will be changing both visually and functionally. Now when you take a health bar segment, you're actually destroying your opponent's phones. So in order to win a match, you now have to destroy more phones than your opponent. So essentially, it's the same tower system, but now in bar form, basically. So it's like yes and no, because they say, well, yes and no. We've said quite often with the BFU that we want every match to be rewarding. So we're also changing the way you earn PvP packs, okay? Before, you needed 3 wins for a PvP pack, but with the new phone destroyer system, you can make progress even if you lose or tie, which is a good thing that a lot of people have been mentioning about since day one, that draw matches just feel so unrewarding. As long as you can destroy 1 or more phones. So essentially now what is going to happen is, now rather than 3 wins, you simply need to break 9 of your opponent's phones in order to get a PvP pack. This will mean that even if you're behind in a match and it looks like you may lose, you should still fight on and try to destroy at least 1 phone, making every match a chance to earn progress towards your PvP pack, even if you're being outplayed. So I think this is a pretty smart move on the devs' part. It's a good solution to the issue that people are having with having drawn out matches, playing out long, well, in their minds, long 3 to 5 minute matches, and then it ended in a draw and they're basically at the same place where they started. So at least this way now, if you can manage to take at least 1 bar every match, it should only take you 9 matches to get your PvP pack. Every match is roughly about 3 minutes, so that's 9 3s 27 if my math is correct. Math is hard, so I could be wrong, but at best, if anything, in a situation where you can't win any matches but you take a bar every match, it should take you roughly about 27 to 30 minutes to get a PvP pack, which is par for course for most people. Most people average usually around 15 to 30 minutes trying to get their PvP pack, depending on if they're in legend or low rank or whatever. So I think this is a fair system. It meets all the necessary requirements to fulfill the role of being a rewarding PvP system. So we get this picture of what it potentially will look like with 9 different segments. The only downside to this system is if you're in matches and you cannot take at least 1 bar every single match, you are gonna have a bad day. You are gonna have a really bad day. Hopefully though, this doesn't happen to a large majority or anyone in general. Alright, moving on. Wow, this is like a huge patch notes update. I am very happy to see Red Links making the effort to actually put out a lot of information. I'd rather sit and read through 15 to 30 minutes of notes than to just get a vague idea of what's coming. So shout outs again, kudos to Red Links for stepping their game up. Alright, so next thing is team events. It's time to hold tryouts and tell your team to bring their A game. Teams will now be more meaningful than ever. In addition to being able to donate cards and talk strategies with your teams, you'll also now be able to earn event progress together with the BFU. We're unveiling team events, a new type of event that will allow your team's combined progress to earn every member additional rewards to those you can earn on your own. There will also be an event-based leaderboard for your team members so you can check out their progress and see who contributes the most. This should reward the combined efforts of all players and give you all more chances to earn sweet loot. The first of these team events will be held in March and will coincide with the release of an exciting new card. even more good news. So we're getting a new card. That's one. Two, events will have more significance. Being in a clan will have more significance. These are all awesome ways to engage with the community and add added content to the game, so to speak. So the game gets somewhat a breath of fresh air. So now not only will you be earning event packs as you play in events, but your cumulative team effort in earning event packs goes towards a goal. It'll be interesting to see what the rewards are for the event, for the team event side of things. So definitely looking forward to that. Another thing that we're getting is daily deals, another feature added with the BFU. Every day we'll get hot new deals in Butter Shop. These may be materials or card stacks, free offers, or other epic deals. That's good. More ways to get mats is always welcome. These deals will refresh with the shop and are only available once a day. Certain offers, such as in screenshot below, can be purchased up to 3 times. Okay, so that's good. They're giving us variety and multiple ways to get mats, because mats are super important in this game. They're a very scarce commodity. So you see this over here, you'll have one random special deal. I'm not sure if all players will have the same random special deal, kind of like based on what region you're in, or if it'll just be totally random for each player individually, but we'll see. Alright, so that takes care of the BFU stuff. So it's shortly after the BFU, another thing that a lot of people have been really excited about is friendly fights, which is like a pseudo arena place where you can battle things out with fellow teammates. Everyone's levels and cards are essentially capped, so it's fair. I like particularly this arena layout that they have, where you get the general idea of where your new kid zap zone is, so you can set up strategies and figure out distances for certain cards to stay outside the zap zone. That's pretty smart on Red Link's part, so shout outs to them for that as well. Players have expressed a longing desire to play in matches against their friends. We're stoked to announce it will soon be possible to do so with friendly fights. Another plus to this is that we can actually semi-pseudo hold tournaments now, because you can actually match up against people directly to play and not just randomly try to stream snipe people to match up against them. So this is awesome. So we get a training arena. The practice arena will have a grid feature for measuring distance and your new kid's zap radius outlined in sticky notes. Friendly fights can be used as a way to battle your teammates, test new cards, and even hold friendly tournaments within your team. In order to make sure players can test those strategies and play on even footing, friendly fights will have the following rule set applied. The new kid level will be set at 11. Common cards will be leveled 4. Rare cards will be level 3. Epic cards will be level 2. And legendary cards will be level 1. So after playing against your teammates, the team chat will then show the results of the match for all to see. This is also good for tournament play, because it gives accountability, so no one can cheat and report wrong scores or such if a tournament's happening. So it's good that they actually did this. And then we get a little picture of what it potentially looks like. You also get to see the player's deck, so you can know what you lost to. There'll also be other minor additions and bug fixes coming with the BFU, but because this is a lot to digest, we've decided to do it in 2 chunks. Fair enough. You've given a lot of info, so we appreciate it. I feel like we can wait for the second chunk. It's not that big a deal. More info should be posted a minimum of 24 hours prior to our update, but we'll do our best. Appreciate it as always. We look forward to hearing continued feedback from our community. Until next time, we'll see you on the streets of South Park. And that's love from Steve and Book. My name is Book, and I love to... Anyways, so there you go, guys. That's the update. All in all, pretty decent. I don't think anyone really has much to potentially complain about in terms of the update. It provided a lot of valuable information, and in general, we just have to wait and see, as with most things with the game. We got to give the devs a chance. We got to give Steve and Buck a chance. They're just the messenger most of the time, so you can't shoot the messenger, guys. You just need to be patient and understanding and let it rock. With that being said, this is the Sci-Fi mystic deck that I'm gonna start messing around with. Hopefully it'll be perfected for the next time that I stream. Poison is really good in the meta currently because of the Purify nerf, and honestly I have not really invested much in the sci-fi class, so I think it's about time I started messing around with sci-fi. Mind Control got a buff with the last update, so we have that in the deck. You get an extended time period for that. So we're gonna let it rock. We're gonna put in some work, see how it happens, and that's gonna be it for me. This is your friendly neighborhood gamer, Zago Cometh, signing off, chilling out at rank 600 and plus, 647, telling you as always, until next time, keep on gaming. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like all our videos. Do go check us out on Facebook. You can search us under the name Zago Cometh. Follow us on Twitter at Mr_Gamehead. And as always, keep on gaming. Visit our game review blog at www.zalgocometh.blogspot.com. See you guys later.